recording, whatever you want, just do your thing.
Okay, so tell me something about yourself and your project.
Okay, so I'm Vincent. I'm actually originally from Hong Kong. I've been living in Shanghai for 13 years. I've been in this fashion industry for 13 years now. I'm doing manufacturing. It's a family business. We manufacture for overseas European brands. And I also last year started a fashion incubator with a couple of my friends here in Shanghai. Our goal is to help the young entrepreneurs and professionals, to help them to grow and to avoid potholes in the fashion industry, because I think this industry is a very big industry, and it has a lot of elements in it, from supply chain, from sales, and retail, and so on. So it's as an entrepreneur, we think that it's want to help them to avoid these mistakes, and then so they can grow faster. Because we went through those processes, and I think it would be great to have someone just, kind of coaching them on the side. So yeah, that's what I do. Mm-hmm.
So for the moment, why do you feel so passionate about recycling?
Okay, the whole thing is because I've been in this industry for 13 years. The family business has been around for over 40 years now, and we've been producing for other brands for 40 some years. So what I see is that this industry it's a beautiful industry, because it's about self-confidence, making people feel happy about the way they look and so on. But there's a dirty side that we actually often hear a lot on the news, because of how our industry has a lot of negative impact on the environment. And I think I want to help to change that or lower the impact. So I really want my customers and people, entrepreneurs I met, and then to promote the idea about sustainability, low impact, because the planet is going to be around. It's just that if we don't do anything, it's us that not going to be around. We're going to probably end up like dinosaurs that we extinct, because we live, human being, the environment that we can live, we can thrive, it's very limited. It's depending on the temperature range and so on. So I think I want to promote is, yes, we can still wear beautiful clothes and such, but that we can do it in a very low impact way, so that we're not polluting the water that we're drinking, we're not polluting the soil, and we have some alternative methods for our clothes that we don't want. Yeah, so it's really just lowering the impact. Yeah.
When it comes to the project that you are doing right now, what excites you the most actually?
I promote a lot the use of sustainable materials a lot to my customers. And for example, recycled cotton, recycled polyester. I'm recently trying a lot of these eco-dyeing. There's some small success, some not, and then some is still in process. So I'm very eager that if I discover some of these things, it works, it's like I want to promote them, so that
From the
new materials, yes. And I'll also, as a guest speaker at one of the fashion schools in Shanghai, I want to tell these young designers or young professionals that go into industries that we have a lot of options of sustainable materials. And a lot of them, they're not that expensive compared to what the non-sustainable, less sustainable ones we have. So I want to give them the mindset is that, hey, there are a lot of choices you can do. And besides just the material part, there are a lot of little things you can do to help decrease your impact, your negative impact, your negative footprint in the industry. Say using the 3D pattern making, you can create less samples. you can communicate quicker with your suppliers or designers. So these are things that technology can help us to lower these impact, making less clothes. Because a lot of times these samples end up no use.
So right now, what do you think is your major challenge that you are facing?
I think major challenge is the sustainability in fashion. This topic is still fairly new, even though a lot of brands are pushing it now. I think the challenge is how can we create a sustainable business model, and also it's a sustainable environment at the same time. So it's because company is they need to make a profit, right? So how you can make a sustainable profit, yet you are making a very low impact on the environment and on the society. So I think that's the biggest challenge. I don't think we can solve that really quickly, but I think with what I read in the news, how people come up with new materials, new methods of access to clothing, like secondhand, rental, share closet, these new business models. I think these all help. And also new technology like AI, big data, really trying to understand what consumers want. We can help decrease the unwanted inventories that are a big issue in our industry, I think. And so I think these are the challenges.
And how do you feel about the challenge?
It's challenging, and it's fun in the same time, that if you can help to solve a little bit or make us improvement, even though incremental, small improvement, it's still a great a step, as long as we work towards the goal is to lower, have a circular economy and have the lowest possible negative footprint. I think that's the best.
How do you support yourself in terms of the emotional part when you're doing this sustainability project? Because it's like you say, it's very new and
I'm kind of a very curious person, so I think this curiosity keeps me going. Yeah. If I discover something, I try something, it works, I was like, oh, great.
I find it's very exciting.
Yeah. It's like discovering new things. It's like engineering. It's like science. If it doesn't work, then I think about what happened there. So then I think about
you can try another way.
Yeah, and then I will share with other entrepreneurs the success and failures and so on.
The challenge is a way to make you keep going, actually.
Yeah. I think it's also, from a business sense, is that, okay, we have this issue now, we need to be more sustainable. So it actually also create a business opportunity. In the same time, you can help to lower the impact. I think it's great. Yeah.
So what do you think you can do to raise awareness among young people these days, especially in China?
Young people, I think it's, I always think the power relies on the opinion leaders, the influencers. The influencers on the social media, because the young generation, we are very digital native. We're always looking at our phone or looking at a flat screen or some kind of screens all the time. And then we interact with a lot of other like-minded people. And then the thing is that if we see other influencers come out and supporting this and talk about these issues, I think it will have a big impact. In China, I've seen on Bilibili this, one time I saw an influencer. She talks about, is at the end of her little show about the video, her vlog, she said, okay, I show you all these clothes. It doesn't mean that you have to buy all of them. You can just pick the ones you really want, because we need to buy subly. So I think this is a start. There are influencers in China that actually care about this. And one time I saw a video about another influencer that they're doing this game, and this game is someone has to eat a 小笼包 with a very long chopsticks, and then a lot of people dropping those 小笼包 on the ground, and then on Bilibili a lot of the fans are saying, hey, that's really a lot of food waste there. So I can see that the young generations in China, they care about these issues. They care.
Change.
Yes, it's definitely, and I see that when there's a news about the industry, there's some companies have some they have issues or problems on, let's say, burning their clothes and so on. It virals a lot, and so I see that as like people are definitely aware, interested and aware about these issues. So I think the next step is, okay, how we can take this further, and then
To make them involved.
make them more involved, and then to make a wiser decision. I mean, buy more responsibly, or how to you can mix and match clothes better so that you can buy you can buy less, or how to buy better quality clothing. Yeah.
Actually, the education in school maybe should have something about the sustainability of
Yes.
it, right?
Yes, I have seen the schools in elementary school and middle schools in Shanghai. They're talking about the sorting of waste. Okay, these are recyclable, these are not, and then so it is they're educating about. So I know that Western countries have started these a long time ago, but I think it's never too late, right? We just have to start, and then one great thing about technology, social media is that it virals really quickly. So back in the days, maybe in the 80s, it takes 2 years. Now maybe it takes only 9 months or even shorter. Yeah. So I think it's a tough topic. It's sustainability. But it's also has a lot of positive involved. So I like to talk about the positive side, how we're making achievements in even though they may not be big achievements, but we are achieving something. We are getting towards there. We're working towards the
It's
direction.
more like the vision that you have is towards the positive side.
Yes.
Like how to improve, and then towards that way.
Yeah.
So thank you, Vincent.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, wherever you want to go. I'm just going to step out for this one, okay? Because I know you're ready. See, you guys can talk, it's recording, okay?
It's recording
Yeah.
already. Ah, you're living. 看起来怎么样？先看一下。可以看得到我的脸吗？
可以看到你的脸，如果要收眼就可以
What's
看
up？
对，这样子漂亮。
这样子对着他
So
吗
you？just sit here and you look at her. Simple, really.
就要对着镜头
没有
吗
看着我。
Sissy? Just look at her and you take
？No, I'm just saying which angle is
You look great,
better.
Sissy.
No. Okay, bye.
Bye. I'll be watching, causing problems.
是要把头低下一点吗？
对，看着我。
这样，
我觉得这样子很好。
这样好吗？这样脸有没有小一点？
侧一点嘛。
这样子，这样子，好吧？
Okay. So tell me something about yourself and your project.
My name is Sissy, and I'm the founder of Remake Hub. Everyone calls me the Princess of Trash. So, Remake Hub is a very young social enterprise. We focused on high-tech recycled material and creative upcycling. We try to clean up the waste through those two kind of ways. And right now, we can clean up different kinds of waste. For example, plastic bottles, fish nets, coffee grounds, and also milk as well. So we turn all those kind of different kinds of waste into high-tech recycled material. Then we are remaking them into new products. For example, furnitures, clothes, toys, essential as well. Yeah.
So why do you feel so passionate about about recycling?
I believe this is my mission. I actually found my life value through the Trush. It's a very interesting story, actually, how I started doing this business. Because my family business has been in the fast fashion for more than 20 years. So last year I came back and my parents wanted me to take over the business. Then I tried to study and learn for like around 3 months. Then I found out this is seriously a very, very dirty industry, you know. Sometimes when I go to one of my fabric suppliers, I cannot even enter in their factory because it smells so bad. And also when you see all the workers, they are like Smurfs because they are covered with the dyeing colors. So I didn't really like so much at that moment. And I was telling my parents that I want to go back to Europe. So I complained a lot at that moment. But then one day I got poisoned from the milk that I was drinking. So it was horrible, that experience. I went to the hospital, then all my face becoming like huge. And after I got recovered, I was thinking about if I want to live longer in China. Basically, I really need to know what's the environmental issues. So I did lots of research, reading articles, news, and papers, whatever. So I found out that the fashion industry actually is the second largest polluting industry, just after the oil. Then I thought this is gonna to be my like final mission. Like this is my task. I have to clean up the fashion waste because my parents' generation has been doing this, from the next generation as me, I must do something more meaningful really, differently, and, make money, enjoy, and change the world, at the same time. It has to be different. That's why I started Remake Hub as a social enterprise. Because all what we do is trying to clean up the waste. So when our business is getting bigger, then the contributions to the environment actually is much bigger, and it's more meaningful and valuable for our business. Yes, so I'm quite passionate about this, and I believe this is going to be a very interesting trend. And also, I believe not only in the fashion industry, but also many other industries should go through this way as well. Whatever the products that they are producing, they should be more environmental friendly to the nature and to our earth, rather than polluting it or cutting down the trees or etc. Yeah.
So you start all this by yourself?
Yes, but of course my parents in the beginning, they didn't support me in the very beginning. They were saying, we send you to study abroad and you get 3 masters and now you come back and picking the trash. They were like very surprised in the very beginning. So I told them, this is my mission, and cleaning up the waste, doing something good for the environment. I feel really honored to be this, and I see these tasks as a different angle. Then very soon, we were already on the TV shows. Lots of newspapers are writing about us. Then less than 1 month, my parents start supporting me. They said, "Wow, it looks like this is a very good trend," and like we're very proud of what you're doing, and we believe that as the young generation, you should do something different than us and do something more meaningful. Then I got support later on, so they were telling me, look, whatever you need, tell us, and we can give you more advice on how to do this business. Yeah. So now we have a team of 5 people. We are very small and young and organized team. Yeah. So everyone has their own job, doing their own things. We have creative director, we have product manager, media, PR, and product, creative directors, essentials. So everyone is doing their job really well. So we're very happy we have a small team, and
That have the same vision.
Yes, of course, everyone knows the meaning and the value of what is this business is. And also we are very happy that we also got awarded from the UN. So we got the Asia Pacific Youth SDG Innovation Award like a few months ago. So we believe we are doing something good for the business and good for the environment. So, yeah.
That's really good. So for the moment, what's the major challenge that you are facing?
The major challenge actually, we believe it is time-consuming to tell our clients and also the end users, why they should use sustainable products, and finding the right opportunity, the business opportunity is our challenge, because right now, for us, there's no such a company that we can learn to do exactly what they are doing. For example, overseas, there are some companies doing very well for sustainable brands, their own brands, to sell it to the customers, to the end users. But now we don't want to sell it to the end users, especially in China now, because we believe right now in the situation in China, not so many end users, they can accept this kind of, or they are willing to purchase this kind of products, comparing with the normal products that are on the market, because they are very price sensitive. So what we are trying to do is we try to talk to big corporates or some events organizers. So because they are, for example, for the events organizers, each event there will be like around 100 people or even 500 people come to attend, and everyone they are going to give them a T-shirt or tote bags, right? So we tell them instead of buying something is going to pollute the environment, why don't you buy something more environmental friendly? And the price difference is not so sensitive because they have a huge numbers, the quantities. So this is one way that we are trying to find our business opportunity to enter this market. So through some events and through some big top 500 companies, their own let's say products purchasing. For example, they have to purchase a large amount of uniforms for their employees. So we tell them, why don't you use more sustainable ones, right? And those ones, after you use them, we will collect them back and turning them into new fibers and new fabrics and make them new uniforms again. Yes, so there will be like zero waste for them, and through the technology, they can, make again, and all the time. This is a very good strategy for them to reduce their footprint as well. Yeah.
What do you think that you can do to actually raise the awareness for the young people these days in China?
Yes. Oh, what we are doing right now is we have offline workshop as well. So the offline workshop, we actually, I usually go everywhere to give a speech. And then at the same time, we will tell them to bring a pair of their own old T-shirt and also a pair of scissors. And within 10 minutes, they can upcycle their T-shirts into a new shopping bag. So we did a lot of these kind of offline workshops. I believe we had around 500 people already that they came to attend these kind of workshops. So at the same time, we tell them the bad sides of the fast fashion and what they can do in the future when they are purchasing more sustainable products, so they understand more, get more aware about what kind of products they actually should buy later on. And also on another side, we try to enter more into PR events. So and especially the big brands, when they have a huge events, we tell them try to use more sustainable ones, the products. and at that moment, you know, when they have a big fan, when they have a big community which is already using and experiencing, you know, products that is made from trash, for example. So the end users, the consumers, they don't have to pay extra money to get this experience, you know, because the events is organizing all these, you know, all these T-shirts or bags or whatever things. So they are just the experience to understand the difference between, you know, sustainable products and the normal products that they are purchasing. But we are still trying, you know, it's just a way that we have to find by ourselves and to see which way is good to raise the awareness. So of course we are trying as much as possible, you know, to tell more people about this kind of new trend, that the fashion can be made from trash, you know, all different kinds of trash that you are throwing away every day. Yeah, and the people get actually very interested about this topic when they heard like say, oh, the Princess of Trash is coming. So what is she going to talk about? And what? You're telling me, you know, T-shirts is made from trash? No way. So then we start telling them, you know, through what kind of technology and through what kind of upcycling, creative design, that actually your trash can be more useful. Yeah.
And can be beautiful as
Yes. Yeah. It's a very fashionate, you know, a new product again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right. You got any questions here, right? Anyway, you know the first question. Hey.
Hi.
How's it going? It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes. So,
What
hi.
do you do, Yanni?
I'm Yani. I'm the co-partner at FAY, and we are a platform that empowers individuals and organizations to shape tomorrow's world. So we aim to inspire, connect, and transform people to unleash the power of purpose through their work. Because more and more people, we're realizing that people are, because more and more we are realizing and encountering people that are questioning their purpose at work, and also they are trying to find ways to contribute value into the world. And it's not just people, it's also companies now that are also trying to see how they can integrate purpose into their business strategy to create value and lead a positive change. So with our platform, we are offering a tool to gather and support purpose projects, events, jobs, and media content that will help people to build a career based on empathy and purpose. And with our events and workshops, we are trying to further manifest the idea of purpose and also help others to find their own purpose. So who are those purpose leaders? And we believe that we all can be purpose leaders, and social enterprises are setting a great example to be purpose leaders because they are driven by a why that helps them to solve an environmental and social problem. So yeah, this is what we're doing.
Amazing.
And yeah, and on top of that, in our platform already, in our community, we see a lot of social enterprises and a growing amount of social enterprises. They are now tackling the whole topic of how to recycle, how to be more sustainable. So we're even more inspired to support them on finding ways to make people be more sustainable as well, to push that idea forward.
That was great. You did a very, very funny, how do you call that? You know, like when you mix two words? What is the name of that? Anyway, instead of saying business strategy, and it was mostly about talking about how companies are trying to do something new and better, you said business tragedy. And that's so good, actually.
Did I really say that?
Yeah, you did say that. You said it was but you did say business strategy. Business tragedy, I promise.
Okay.
That's great. All right, awesome. Next, it's here. Okay, cool. Why do you feel so passionate, or that it's important, but why do you feel so passionate about recycling?
I still think that the priority is to first reduce the way we consume and what we consume. And then there's like the typical thing of saying like reduce, reuse, and then it comes with recycling. But I think recycling it is a big thing because there is already so much that has been produced now. So now it's really the time where we have to really question ourselves, okay, how can we actually now recycle all these things that are out there? And I am German, I grew up in Germany, so recycling has been part of our education. Like trash separation was a big thing, and it was really strict. Like we had even neighbors, you know, that would look into your trash and say, oh, you didn't separate it right, your trash. So it has been really implemented in our educations. I think that is a huge thing when it comes to recycling, that people understand how you recycle. So that is something that really has to be pushed forward, that people understand, okay, why do we have to recycle, but then also how.
Cool, awesome. In your career or in the challenges that you can talk about yourself, or you can look at it from a broader scale, not just your organization, but because the question is, what's the major challenge that you are facing? I suppose, you know.
Start with the battery, or maybe you want to connect to something.
Right. I think it will do. It's about 10 to 25%, but thanks. Let me know if it shuts down. Thank you. So what are the main challenges that you're facing?
For Faye or in
You can start with
general?
Faye, and then maybe you can see, because I suppose that they're similar to,
Sustainability.
yeah.
So it's more regarding sustainability.
Can be also what you are doing actually. Just anything that you feel that is a challenge for you to, in terms of what you are doing right now.
I think with sustainability, because it's such a complex topic, so what we are trying to do at Faye is really to gather, you know, examples, like good examples and alternatives for people to see there is a different way of doing and handling things. It's out there. You just have to do it. I think because the biggest challenge right now is that there is a growing desire and need for people to take action, but a lot of them just don't know how to do it. It's so, because they've been so grown into that system and that idea of, you know, how things are now, that it's really hard for them to change it. But by giving them more example and exposing them to more of that, we hope that this will actually make them also go this way. But the challenge is really like to get more examples and make it more, tangible for them to follow.
I see. So the biggest challenge is the minds of people to change and inspire.
Yeah. Challenge their mind, but also like give them really, I think a lot of people, they need like the, you know, take by the hand to really like show you how it goes. So I think it's really more like, okay, to give them alternative options.
Cool. You want to ask anything on that question? No?
On that question,
Yeah. Or just, you know, bounce on it? No?
Yeah, I'm trying to balance the time.
Okay, cool. Well, that's very much linked, I suppose, to question 3.
Yeah, I can go to the 4. Maybe she can talk more for the 4.
Okay, sure. Which is, what do you think you can do to raise awareness among young people? Or we can do, not just you. Yeah, it's going to change the awareness of young
Let's
people.
change the world.
What are you going to do, Danny? What can be done to change the awareness and to help raise awareness?
I think we all have our own strength and expertise. And now it's really the time of finding ways to collaborate and really like join force to tackle it and bring awareness. So what we're actually trying to do at Faye now is also to partner up and collaborate more with like designers, with artists, to really like not just bring like the topic and the problem in, but also bring like the beauty of it in. That, you know, there is that
Show them the beauty side of
Yes, exactly. Like showing that you can, you know, like being sustainable doesn't mean you have to be a hippie and wearing like, you know, old clothes, but you can actually still be fashionable and sustainable at the same time. It's just really like a switch of mindset, and by actually joining force with like different expertise and strengths, we can actually make it all, you know, a sexier package at the end.
The sexier package.
Yeah.
I'm with you, 100%.
Especially because like young people now, the younger generation now, it's all, I mean, it's so much about also how to expose themselves, how to, you know, what the image to the outside is. So I think it is important to make this topic also very appealing to the younger generation. And by doing that, it's really to also get the beauty out of it.
Awesome. Last question. What's your biggest wish for the coming years? Like if you could ask a genie in a lamp. If you could ask for anything, this is actually what's written, what would it be?
If I could wish for anything, then I wish to see more purpose leaders, especially local ones here, that are leading and making the change to show that there is a way to live and do business differently. And by that I mean everyone, like individuals, entrepreneurs, companies, politicians, government, we all have to become purpose leaders. And that what has been set as norm, saying that you can consume as much as you want and then throw it away, or make profit at any means, or just work because you just for the money and for the sake of competing, that this doesn't have to be like this anymore, that we actually have the power and the solutions to create new ways, that the new norm can be sustainability, that the new norm can be, you know, upcycling is the cool thing to do, and that working with purpose is just naturally integrated in every business model. And it's a global movement that has already begun. And I wish that we all can join this movement so we can live and work purposeful in harmony and balance together with each other and the planet. Yay!
You did great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Well, thank you very much for your help.
So tell me something about yourself and your project.
Hi, I'm Jane. I'm co-founder of PT, Plastic Ecological Transformation. PT provide textile products for customers. We are professional design and engineering and manufacture. I have been worked in textile and fashion industry for more than 10 years, and I was always hoped that in addition to making money, I hope my job is more meaningful. And also, as two girls' mom, I also want to do something good for them, and also I hope my children will live in a better environment. Yes. So I start our startups.
So why do you feel so passionate about recycling?
You know, for me, I hope my job will be much meaningful and more than just making money. So I have been worked with some projects about sustainability in the past few years. And from last year, I saw a lot of coverage from the media, like the PET bottles pollution. I feel very bad, but for me, PET bottles indeed is named polyester in textile industry, and for me, it's only went to the incorrect place. they are very useful in textile industry. So I'm thinking if we can bring all the bottles to textile industry, maybe can solve this problem. So I start trying to make some products with my partners. For me, it's a perfect job now because it can connect my experience with sustainability, and also it's a commercial way to solve the pollution problem. So I'm thinking I will keep working on this in my biggest life. Yeah.
So it actually excites you when you're doing all these things?
Yeah.
So what's the major challenge that you're facing right now?
Compared with the developed country, indeed in China, the place is not much about recycling. And also in China, the recycling industry is not complete, so the material is much expensive than it's from petrol. You know, polyester is from petrol. So our price will be a little higher than normal products from petrol. But fortunately, our customers usually like our products because they love our quality, and also they agree with our value. So they like to choose our products. Yeah.
Kind of jump out between the two questions. Okay.
Yes.
See you.
Okay. 4分钟。
还有最后一个问题。
对。因为我在想，就是可以再加一些关于这个 major challenge 的这个东西嘛，就是like in terms of how people, how China people accept this recycling thing, how they see recycling. Because it's not like the recycling habit is not widely practiced among all the Chinese.
For PET, because the recycled bottles will be treated to a very original material, like it's from petrol. So there's no difference with the material from petrol. And so we can make anything we want. 就是因为从我们的原材料会处理到就非常原材料的状态，它其实跟从石油来是没有区别的。
是不是我的问题是就是因为中国人不习惯于环保这个举动，所以我的问题就是怎么让他们觉得环保这个东西是重要的，就是他们会觉得就是环保这个东西我不在乎啊，这个就那个挑战。
We usually show two different pictures to people. One is the PET bottles pollution in the river, in the ocean to people, and on another hand, I will show some very beautiful products made from recycled PET bottles. And I usually ask people, which is your like? Which one you like? If you throw away the bottles, then you will see this kind of pictures.
Which ones benefit you more than?
Yeah. And if you can put it on the correct.
Show them the choices.
Yeah. And then it's totally another way. Yes.
What do you think you can do to raise the awareness among young people these days?
Indeed, our main business is provide products to the business customers, but we also have many interesting brand cooperation. Like last week in Shanghai Fashion Week, we show a demo. We collaborated with two very young designers, and they have a very cool brand named Dumpty. We have a fashion show, and we made about 30 products, and all these products are made from around 4,000 PT bottles. Yeah, and we want to show people that indeed the PT bottles could be very cool, and they can connect with Shanghai Fashion Show. We have another business is we can provide the technology and the whole industry support to the young designers. Yeah, because we know many young designers they have feelings with the sustainability. They want to do something to protect the environment, but they don't know how to do. So so we have many different cooperation with the young designers. Yeah.
How do you usually educate your two kids about the recycling? My elder daughter is 5.5 years old. Now, indeed, I never tell her what I'm doing, but when I'm talking with my husband, she sit there and playing, and she listened what we had said. And last week she told me she told her classmates and her teachers her mother is making garments with recycled bottles. Yeah, and her teacher do not believe it. Yeah, she cannot imagine why bottles can be fashion, can be garments. Yeah, and last week when we talked together, her teacher asked me, "Is that really?" And last time I took her to a textile show, and she said she saw many different fabrics, and I cannot imagine that she asked me, "Mom, can you make this kind of fabric with PET bottles? Maybe you can try." Yeah. So cute. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So you can see me in the reflection, so I'll go out. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Can we just make sure that we're still good? Can you talk?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Cool.
Okay.
It's recording. 10 minutes, please. No more.
Okay.
10 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we just start. Okay.
So just tell me about someone.
Hi, I'm Bill. I'm from Shanghai. I am CEO and founder of a company called EME. We do product sustainability service. We help assess product and services environmental impact, and help companies and the business make environmental decisions, making strategies. Also, we provide eco-design tool and platform to enable companies and the business to start or innovate green products. The last thing we also work on is community development or community building for green manufacturing by helping making green product standard and policies. Also working with universities and design firms to cultivate a green society. So the second question about
Why do you feel so passionate about recycling?
Well, I should be honest that I am not as passionate as design of greener products than just focusing on recycling. So recycling is one of the approach we use in eco-design, and it is one of the angles that help us to develop a greener product. But we should be reminded that recycling is only one of the methods. In order to get a greener product or circular economy, we should look at the different angles of tackling the non-sustainability issue. For example, we should also look at the possibility to avoid the product from being recycled or disposed at all. For example, in European Union, the one-time plastic is forbidden to be used by 2021, I think the new policy just made. So it is one of the solutions to avoid product from being dumped. This is one of the philosophy of avoid a problem instead of treating the problem in the end of pipe. The second, or the other angle or perspective we can look at eco-design is to look at the service of all the function of a product that the product can provide. For example, if we use pesticide to kill pests, there's no way you can recycle a pesticide, or there's a limited functions, limited opportunities that you can work from that end. Instead, we can think about how the crops or the farm should be protected from the damage, and the pesticide management will become a more useful approach other than recycling the pesticide or avoid using pesticide. So we may come up with eco-management using biological or other agricultural ecosystems to help prevent the damage from pesticide, from pest. So there's another approach we can also think, for example, efficiency improvement during usage of a product. For example, if you use energy-intensive cars or automobiles, or use television or other electronic products, we should look at the more energy-efficient appliance, which is, from the environmental perspective, the footprint, hotspot of environmental impact is from the usage stage. And in that case, for users, we should be asking ourselves, can we switch off the television? Can we use more public transportation instead of using more energy-intensive or high demand of fuels? This kind of type of vehicles. But from the product owner's perspective, recycling is actually one of the approach we should also consider if there is opportunity. But the meaning is we should not treat recycling as the only passionate way to deal with product sustainability. So in our case, when we do construction material, we deal with construction material or deal with some machinery products, we encourage our clients to look at the recycling possibility or reusing. You know, when you look at the end of life of product, the hierarchy will always be reuse, and then the last resort is recycling. So we should ask ourselves, is the product's function can be continued in one way or the other? Because recycling eventually will need to break down the product into segments of materials, and that is the least valuable approach to treat as product sustainability.
So what's the major challenge that you are facing right now?
We're dealing with a challenge of systematic. Well, let me repeat the answer.
The major challenge.
Yeah. As we have been working in China for around 10 years, more than 10 years, on product sustainability, and especially focusing on product life cycle assessment and eco-design, the more work we have, the more we see needed on solve the system problem, system thinking, in a way. Well, I need to reframe it. Okay. The biggest challenge we face today is not an individual challenge as technical or finance alone. It is more systematic problem. The reason I say that is in order to help a company or the society to get greener products, we need the whole value chain to work together instead of segregated sections to contribute to the overall difficulty. For example, in order to get a greener product in the market to the consumers, the financial system should provide a business case in enabling the company who are developing greener products or innovate in greener materials. They can eventually get the revenue or profit from this effort. So far, the financial system or the economy is still working on that end, but there's much more work to do. Second, we should look at the technology and the product innovation itself. Is there enough solutions that can enable business to present more greener solutions? That is always a challenge facing many manufacturers as they don't have this know-how and resource access to the newest technology or up-to-date system or thinking. The third challenge actually for facing the system thinking is the market itself. As the consumers has not direct buying power or willing to pay for the greener products. So the margin for greener product is not very clear for producers. As green itself is not obvious driven for the payment. So we need to work on that end to not only raise the awareness of consumers in China as well as in globally. We should also help both the producers and the consumers to find the channels to dialogue, to create dialogue between each other and also make close loop of green consumption.
So what do you think you can do we can do to help to raise the awareness of young people these days?
Well, I would say it's not only the young people we should work together to help raise their awareness, but also the whole societies. I mean, if we look at decision-making powers of consumers, for example, if you look at family, usually it's the wife who are taking care of the expenditure of a family, and then the decision-making power is relying on the wife. I'm not saying the husband or the kids, the young people who are not going to pay for green, but I think the education should be not only purely focusing on young people, but for young generation, I think what we are doing now is creating an IMEE community to work with universities to provide training of life cycle assessment, eco-design, and ethical engineering to develop more greener products. In the meanwhile, we are also working, like back to the question about challenging. We're also working with the financial sector now to look at the innovative technology to assess the environmental impacts and the social improvement potentials of a new technology and the new products, help them to be financially successful. And also on the product innovation and technology angle, we are working with a platform to encourage green supply chain, to allow more social innovation be able to happen. In the market side, we are working with a certification company and also the government sector to encourage more green procurement. For example, in the building sector, we are generating EPD report, which is environmental product declaration, and the carbon footprinting report for builders or for the product building construction products to enable them to communicate their environmental performance to the market. This creates some competitive differentiation for business. So all this kind of education and dissemination of green and product sustainability is a way that we think can eventually help the market help the consumers, help the producers. That's the answer, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Enough time? Okay.
Sorry?
You got 15 minutes, 64 seconds tops. 25, go. Ready to go? And you please step back on your chair because the focus is like that bit.
Here?
Yeah, and you look at her when you talk, okay?
Okay.
So
Cool,
just
it's
tell me
rolling.
about yourself and your project.
Yeah, and just wait for us to go out first.
Okay. Right, now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Eduardo. Sorry. I'm Eduardo. I'm a creative director and a partner in Waste to Wear. It's a company that recycles plastic bottles into clothes and other kind of textiles.
You can just tell me more about your project and what you're doing right now. For more.
Okay. What we do, as I said, we focus on recycling plastic, but we try to go a bit further in terms of innovation, in terms of trying to find new sources of plastic that would increase our positive environmental impact. It's not only about using or producing yarns and fabrics from plastic, but actually about how to create new opportunities for companies to apply principles and models of circular economy in fashion, but not only in fashion, also in different areas that actually include textiles. We don't think about some applications that textiles that we use every day, from flooring and construction to sorry, not a bit rusty. From flooring, construction, and any other kind of applications that are there. One of the main things of our company is what we call the
waste wear.
sorry. One of the main things of our Waste to Wear company are some of our social projects, our social initiatives, mainly what we call the Ocean Plastic Project. The Ocean Plastic Project is a program in which we work with local collectors to pick plastic from different from coastal areas, from the beach for the shore, that it's to avoid it to go back into the ocean. And with that plastic, we create different kind of yarns and fabrics. Yes.
So why do you so passionate about recycling?
Because I am very passionate about hating plastic. There is too much out there. Plastic itself is not necessarily a bad thing. It has a lot of advantages. It's a material that has created a lot of. It's able to create a lot of products in a cheap way that are gonna last. But those two characteristics that make plastic actually such a great material is exactly what makes it also a terrible material for the environment. Because it's cheap, we produce a lot. Because it's durable, it never goes away. So the problem is not with plastic itself. The problem is the way we use it, the way we dispose it, the way we manage it. It's too much. It's too much. Yes, exactly. You know, in one year, right now, we are producing more plastic in 1 year than the whole human population on Earth. So there is, and it is just 1 year of plastic. It's terrible. We cannot do that. We don't have the ability to manage this. To keep it in a clear stream that we know that everything is going to be recyclable, or that even that everything is going to go into a landfill. That is not how it works. It doesn't happen. There is a great recycling system working in China. It is true. It's an informal system. It's quite strong and it's quite efficient. but it only works for certain plastics, it works for certain areas, and not only in China but everywhere in the world there is way too much plastic that it's ending up in the environment, in the oceans, and in anywhere, in any place where it should not be. So the problem is not with plastic, the problem is with how we use it.
So what is the first thing that trigger you, that make you involved in this sustainability?
How I ended up involved in here?
Yeah. What's the first thing that trigger you?
I think there were probably a series of situations that ended up in me in this knowing or meeting some people, particularly my business partner, and understanding at some point that that we had the opportunity to make a change, you know.
Or the opportunity, you see the opportunity to make a change.
But that is, to me, my personal experience was to see the opportunity to make a change through business. Mm-hmm. So that was understanding that doing something positive is not only about charity, or is not only about volunteering. It's also about business, and when you see it that way, you see the potential of actually doing business in the right way, to have a positive impact in the environment, in society, or in any way where you want to focus.
Oh, okay. What do you think is the major challenge right now for you?
The major challenge for us in recycling, I would say that it's in certain ways a lack of understanding many times, and companies that are sometimes afraid of taking a step to go into the use or application of recycled materials. Recycling is always more difficult than creating something new. It's more expensive, it's more complicated. It's unbelievable, but we are so good at taking oil and making it into plastic that this process has become extremely cheap, much cheaper than actually taking what is already there, the plastic that has already, and recycle it. And that creates a difference in prices, for example. I would not say that it's a very big difference, but there is a difference in there. And when companies are not willing to accept that in order to make a better choice,
The better future.
Exactly, that's the bigger problem. Now, what is happening to solve this problem is that there is a global movement of people and consumers that are pushing those companies, those big brands, to make that change, even if they don't want it, even if they don't want to do it, even if they want to keep going through their traditional old supply chains and keep doing business as usual and keep doing things that they have always done. It's the consumer now that is pushing their brands, that is pushing the companies to move forward and make a sustainable decision. And that's, on the other hand, what is helping to solve this challenge and to overcome these complications.
How do you think you can do to raise the awareness among the especially young people these days?
How we can raise awareness?
Yes. To make them really understand the importance of the recycling.
I think it's all about transparency. People wants to know, but in many cases they don't understand yet how it's working.
How bad is it and how everything's going on inside?
Exactly. Trying to understand how their clothes are made, for example. I think in the last few years, mostly after the tragedy in Rana Plaza 3-4 years ago, people started realizing what is behind their nice clothes. And people start asking how is it made, who made it, and then they start asking how are the materials made, what is this is made of, what it means that is made of polyester, what it means that is made of cotton, what it means if it's made of organic cotton, what it means if it's made of recycled polyester. So people can make choices only if they understand, and they will only understand what is behind a brand the day that we are transparent and open and we are able to show everything that is how it's made. Until that, people will stay in this blurry gray area in which they try to trust the brands that they are using. They try to trust the companies that they are buying with from. But if you don't know what is going on behind the scenes, there is no way to make a proper choice.
True. I like this really much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.